This is Karen Ranzi of Super Healthy Children, and I'm here with my friend John Kohler, whom I'm sure many of you know from his numerous videos and his wonderful work on gardening and growing your greens and sprouting and juicers, comparing juicers. God, John, I mean, you have just done such amazing work. I mean, not only for the raw foods community, but for everybody.
No, thank you.
Everybody. I mean, just great work on getting plant nourishment. And so I brought John here at the Raw Living Expo, where I get to speak with him. And I'm going to ask John a bit about gardening and foods and gardening that are really attractive to children, and what would be best for them, and what would be the most fun and easy gardening for them to get children started.
Cool. So, Karen, I don't yet have a family. One of these days I will have a family, and I get to really learn what children like in the garden. But I can only kind of guess, you know. One of the things I was fascinated with when I was a kid was actually sprouting. So, in kindergarten, actually, we did sprouting, and we saw little seeds turn into sprouts, and we got to eat them, and it was so fun. So, and you guys could do that in your kitchen even without a garden outside. Another thing, of course, I would encourage you guys to grow are something like the cherry tomatoes. So small little cherry tomatoes will produce a lot of little tomatoes over the whole season, and you know, kids could go out there and pick them and eat them.
And they usually love them.
And they love them because they're sweeter. And you want to get the Sweet 100 variety. Actually, they're one of my favorites. And that's another great food you can grow to get the kids involved. Another one I would recommend that's fairly easy to grow is also zucchini. So zucchini actually makes a nice large plant, and they make nice large zucchinis if you let them grow a little while. But they also make nice and small ones, and you can harvest them literally at any time and eat them. What's really cool is, say you come today and look at the plants with your kids and the zucchini is that big, right? Tomorrow it's going to be that big. I'm not joking. I mean, they grow really fast, so the kids can see, like, wow, look, just the next day it's, you know, this much bigger, and it's just going to get bigger and bigger until you pick it and eat it. So that's another cool plant.
So that's a fun one.
Yeah, that's a fun one for them. And then another one is, you know, kids tend to be impatient. I mean, you know, that's just how they are. I mean, I don't have kids, but I know this, right? How do I know this? Because I was impatient as a kid. So another cool plant to grow in the garden for kids is arugula. Arugula is probably one of the fastest leafy greens. It'll give you close to that instant gratification, even though it's not that instant. But they grow relatively fast, and plus the cool thing with kids and for yourselves, you can see at different stages when the plant's you know, older or younger, the leaves are, you know, either really hot or just a little hot. So if you pick them when they're a young baby and tender leaves, they're going to be a lot more mild than when the plant gets a lot older and gets more hot and spicy.
That's cool, because I didn't realize that. Especially, I didn't think that children would like arugula because of that spiciness, but I didn't think about young arugula.
Right, right. And then the other cool thing is if you let the arugula go to the flower stage, you could actually eat the flowers, and the flowers are quite delicious. They're one of my favorite flowers to eat in the garden.
Interesting. So, can you also tell us about the easiest type of gardening that families can do with their children?
Sure. So the easiest gardening style that I recommend for people that want to start gardening is called the square foot garden. And you simply take a couple pieces of wood, you make a little box out of them, so 4 foot by 4 foot, and you just fill it up with soil on top of your existing lawn, on top of your existing weed patch. I would recommend probably putting some cardboard down over your lawn, over a weed patch, to keep all the weeds and things from growing through and into your garden. But that's the simplest way to do it. You just build a little box, fill it with some good soil, and just start planting it and keep it watered. I mean, growing a garden really is that simple. I mean, you guys have grown kids. It's a lot harder than growing a garden.
Exactly. Well, thank you. That's great information. John, can you tell everybody your websites?
Oh, sure. So if you want to learn more about gardening, I have specific how-to videos on many subjects in gardening, as well as a lot of different crops and things you could grow. And you could learn more about that at growingyourgreens.com. If you're interested in learning about my raw foods teachings, you can check me out atokraw.com. I also sell the juicers and the appliances such as blenders to allow you to eat more fresh fruits and vegetables That's at discountjuicers.com, and the YouTube account associated with that is Raw Foods, where I actually have juicing demonstrations comparing one juicer against another to show you guys what juicer may be the best for you.
Wonderful. Thanks so much.
All right. Thank you, Karen.